Om Jnanatimidandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Sri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Iti Namine Prema Bhakti Rasanandam Kripa Sindhu Mamananam Pragyapayantam Vande Sri Bhakti Vedanta Narayanam. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. So today we are continuing with Brahma Samhita, chapter 5, verse 25. This is being pre-recorded as I have a schedule conflict for the usual scheduled time for the live class. Tapastvam tapa etena tapasiddhir bhavishyati. O Brahma, perform austerity by this mantra. Thus your cherished desire will be fulfilled. In the previous verse, we discussed the Gopal mantra, and now that is the mantra that is being referred to. Translation of Tika by Srila Jiva Goswami. In this half shloka, beginning with the words tapastvam, instruction is being given on how austerity should be performed. That is, by the aforementioned method. According to the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Brahmaji heard the 16th and 21st consonants of the alphabet, namely ta and pa, combined to make the word tapa. Upon hearing this, he began to meditate on Bhagavan with one-pointed attention. At that time, by the mercy of Bhagavan, he heard the supreme monarch of mantras, the Krishna mantra, spoken by transcendental Saraswati. Goddess Saraswati said, O Brahma, perform austerity by repeating this mantra with the utmost diligence. Thus, all your heart's desires will be fulfilled. So, in discussing the Shri Gopal mantra, the 18-syllable Gopal mantra, beginning with Klim Krishnaya Govindaya, we have already discussed how this is considered to be the supreme or the monarch of all mantras. And Divya Saraswati, what is meant by Divya Saraswati? Divya Saraswati is the transcendental Saraswati. Saraswati Devi is a manifestation of Bhagavan's internal potency, but her shadow is also present as Saraswati, who people worship as the goddess of learning and speech. As Divya Saraswati, she gives instruction in spiritual matters, and that is who is being referred to here, as opposed to the Saraswati who is the shadow of the spiritual potency. So the Tatparya by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is quite short. The purport of this verse and its commentary are clear. Then let's move on to verse 26. Atatepe sasuchiram prinan govindam avyayam Shvetadvipapatim krishnam golokastam paratparam Prakritya gunarupinya rupinya paryupasatam Sahasradala sampanne kortikanjalka brinhite Bhumishchintamanistattra karnikare mahasane Samasinam chidanandam jyotirupam sanatanam. Shabda-brahmamayam venam vadayantam mukambuje vilasini ganavirtam svairam shairabhishtutam. After hearing this divine message, Brahmaji engaged in austerities for a very long time in order to please Govinda, Sri Krishna, the Lord of Shwetadvip, who is situated in Goloka Vrindavan. Brahma's meditation was as follows. In that land, which is made of transcendental desire-fulfilling gems, there is a lotus with thousands of petals and millions of filaments. In the center or pericarp, there is a great sitting place or throne upon which is seated Sri Krishna, the eternal form of effulgent cognizance and bliss. With his lotus lips, he is playing the flute, whose sound contains all the Vedic hymns, and he is surrounded by gopis engaged in pleasure pastimes with him. He is attended by his own plenary portions, who are pastime expansions, and who are engaged in offering praise to him. From outside Sri Krishna's abode, Maya, who takes the form of the three material modes of ignorance, passion, and goodness, is also worshiping him. Translation of Tika by Srila Jiva Goswami. After Brahma had performed a japa of the aforementioned mantra on account of his specific desire to create, he recited the following hymn to worship Sri Govindadev as he gracefully reclines in the holy sanctuary of Gokul. In these four shlokas, beginning with the words Atatepe, Brahmaji describes the nature of Govindadev, the master of Goloka, whom he was worshipping. In that astonishing vision, Brahmaji saw that the personified illusory energy, who embodies the three qualities of material nature, also performed worship of the all-worshipable Bhagavan Shri Govindadev through meditation from outside his abode. She did not come directly in Sri Krishna's presence because she felt very ashamed, considering herself an offender for punishing the rebellious living entities. And here there is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 2:747. Yogabhimoke maya vilajjamana sati prishtadesham upaiti. The extremely chaste Maya remains far behind Bhagavan and offers him worship through meditation. It is also stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Balimudvahanti samadanti yajaya nimishaha. The demigods and material nature herself offer tribute to you. In this verse, it is stated that the demigods are also external functionaries of the material creation, and they remain outside Sri Bhagavan's planet together with the illusory potency. As the lords of small kingdoms offer oblations to their emperor, so the demigods also offer their oblations of puja to Govinda. What to speak of others, even the great demigods must certainly remain situated in their separate worlds. So it is important to understand Brahmaji is getting by the Gopal mantra. So he was instructed to do this tapasya and to practice this mantra. Tapastvam tapa etena tavisadhir bhavishyati. And when he did that, by practicing the Gopal mantra, Brahmaji got darshan of Goloka Vrindavan and Sri Krishna, who is the Lord of Shwetadvip. So we'll go into that a little bit more in detail. What is Shwetadvip exactly? Because Shwetadvip has many different meanings according to context. So Brahmaji got darshan of Goloka Vrindavan by divine vision. Divine vision only comes by the grace of God, only within the heart. It cannot come by mental speculation, by great learning, by any amount of austerity or anything like that. It only comes by mercy. It is revealed Sri Krishna is Purna Tattva. He is the complete absolute truth. And his understanding cannot come by bits and pieces, by studying and learning about Krishna. That's not how it works. We will serve Sri Krishna. We will learn, we have to know basic tattva. This is very, very important. Without knowing basic tattva, we can be very easily misled and bewildered. Sometimes people make the argument, oh, we should not hear from anyone who is not approved by our society, or they can be misled and bewildered. Well, how is your society not misled and bewildered? An entire society can also be misled and bewildered if they do not hear attentively, if they do not school everyone in the philosophy unbiased by institutional requirements and priorities. We must try to learn philosophical truths, and only in learning philosophical truths will we be protected from the illusions of Maya. Now, Maya herself, the illusory energy, is remaining outside Goloka Vrindavan, and she is behind Krishna. As quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam, oh, she is ashamed. She is doing the dirty work. Because this material world is also called a prison. It is the place for those who are rebellious, who are not interested in serving the Lord of Goloka, Sri Krishna. And so in this material world, the superintendent is Durga, who is creating all of the different varieties of illusion that is covering everything. This world is real, but it has a covering of illusion. That illusion is what leads us to see, oh, look, here is someone who has such a nice house and a swimming pool and very beautiful wife and such a nice car. And if only I could have all the things that this person is having, then I would be very happy. But Maya cheats us such that we work very hard to acquire all these things, and somehow or other, we don't have happiness. We have suffering mixed with some little happiness, and we have to work very hard, and our entire life will be spent in trying to acquire things that we think will make us happy, but do not bring us satisfaction. And as we enjoy sense pleasures, our desire for more sense pleasure simply increases, similar to pouring gasoline on a hot fire. The demigods also are offering from a distance because they are also in the world which is made of three gunas: sattva, rajas, and tamas. These three modes of material nature are the substance of what makes the covering of Maya. So we are going through this palette of colors of the mixtures of sattva, rajas, tamas, and this is the illusion that coats everything, including our own perception. Our own perception, our mind, our intelligence, our ego, these are all covered by the three gunas, and they are a product of the three gunas. It is not possible for that which is a product of the three gunas to come together and form an understanding of Sri Krishna. It is only possible by the grace of Guru. Now, who was the Guru of Brahmaji? Sri Krishna himself is the Guru of Brahmaji. So he was initiated as described in later verses. And in his initiation, he performed the mantra which had been given to him, and by that mantra, he was able to receive the perfection of having this vision of Goloka Vrindavan. So his vision not only included Goloka Vrindavan, but he also saw how the material nature, the personified, is remaining outside, and she is worshiping Sri Krishna by meditation, offering prayers, and also how the demigods are also offering prayers and remaining outside. So let us continue with this tika. The word amshahe, meaning by the plenary portions, in this verse indicates the direct expansions of the personal form of Bhagavan who are situated in Goloka. These associates also perform worship of Sri Govindadev. Brahmaji engaged in austerities for a long time in order to please the imperishable Lord Sri Krishna, who is known as Govinda, and who is the supreme transcendence and the master of Shvetadvip. To please Sri Krishna, his external potency also performed worship of him by meditation, not directly before him, but remaining far away outside of his abode. So Brahmaji had this big picture, seeing everything. Now, the Amsha is describing that there are direct expansions of the personal form of Bhagavan who are situated in Goloka. These associates who are performing worship of Govindadev. Now, this is also going to be described in more detail. Now, what is Shvetadvip? In this context, Shvetadvip is referring to the broader Goloka. So Goloka is a planet, but the dimensions of this planet are something in quadrillions of miles. It is bigger than any of the material universes. It is vast. And within that Goloka, there is Goloka Vrindavan, the inner part. This outer part is also called Shvetadvip. So Shvetadvip can also mean the Nitya Dham, which is manifest as Navadvip in this world. In this case, it means the broader Goloka, not the Goloka Vrindavan. Shvetadvip also can refer to the abode of Kshirodakshaya Vishnu within this world, where the demigods, the Devi Devatas, went, and they, along with Brahmaji, they worshipped Bhagavan by offering the Purusha Sukta prayers. Hari Om Sahasra Sirsha Purushaha Sahasraksha Sahasrapare Sabhumin Vishvato Vitvat Atyatishta. And this was their process of worshiping Vishnu. And then Brahmaji received the transmission that I will very soon incarnate. Krishna told Brahmaji that I will incarnate. All of you demigods should appear as Yadus. So in this case, Shvetadvip is referring to the broader Goloka, the planet of Krishna. Now, this Shvetadvip is also described in previous verses in this Brahma Samhita, that it is a four-sided abode, and that there are Dikpals, and there are also the fourfold expansions, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Now they are in the outer part of Shvetadvip, the outer part of Goloka, which has opulence. The opulence is not covered by sweetness. And so this is distinct from the inner part. So in the outer part of Goloka, there are Nanda, Yashoda, etc. But the inhabitants there also live along with awareness of Sri Krishna's opulence. It is in the inner part of Goloka Vrindavan where the Madhurya Lila of the very sweet pastimes of Sri Krishna take place. And it is that inner part of Goloka Vrindavan which becomes manifest on the earthly plane as what is sometimes called Bhauma Vrindavan, or Vrindavan upon this earth. And it is the pastimes in this Vrindavan which are being described in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which are described in the writings of the Goswamis and in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, particularly in the line of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. We are aspiring exclusively to go. Now, it has also been clarified, for example, that Putana, aho bakiyam snalakalakutam apayan apyasadvi. Although she was a sadvi, she was not saintly, she was hateful and came with a desire to kill, Jagamsur, desiring to kill Krishna. She came with poison smeared on her breast. And then what did she get? That Mukunda, Krishna, is so kind, he gave her a gati like that of a nurse. Now, Gurudev has explained what this means. It means that her gati was going to this Shvetadweep, this outer part of Goloka Vrindavan, where she could be like a neighbor, like Parosi, a neighbor of Yashoda Maya. Still, but she did not go in Goloka Vrindavan. She went in the outer part of Golok. But still, the destination of demons who are slain by Krishna is that they go to the Brahmajyoti. They go to Mahakalapur, that place where there is no form, no differentiation, only the shining light which is emanating from Krishna's body. So, Shukadev Goswami is saying, aho, aho, how wonderful it is. It is astonishing. Krishna is so kind that he gave this gati to Putana. It is quite amazing. But this was the outer part of Goloka, and that is Shvetadvip. So now we are going to describe the nature of the meditation of the external energy. So it is specifically described here. She is also meditating on Golok in this way. The land in Golok is made of desire-fulfilling gems, Chintamani. In that place is a 1,000-petaled lotus, the beauty of which is enhanced by millions of saffron filaments. Sri Govindadev, whose effulgent form is composed of eternity, knowledge, and bliss, is seated upon the pericarp of that lotus, which takes the form of a throne. With his lotus lips, he plays a flute, whose sound manifests the Vedic hymns. He is surrounded by his dear most beloved gopis, and he is glorified by his associates who also reside in Goloka. Such a meditation is capable of bestowing all blessings. So this is a meditation upon what is called the Yoga Peeth. The Yoga Peeth is the seat of pastimes, like the center part. And so this is given and there is also further explanation. 1,000-petal lotus, millions of filaments, saffron filaments. A lotus flower has this thing in the middle, which is almost like an inverted cone. That is the pericarp of the lotus. So this is being described, the Dham is being described like a lotus flower because it is very beautiful, it is very fragrant, it is full of varieties of ras. But there is a center, the centermost part, that is the Yoga Peeth. It is the seat of pastimes. It is the center of all of the pastimes. And there Divyad Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanastho Sri Sri Radha Sri Lagovinda Devo Prishtali Sevya Mano Smarami. This is the meditation. Shri Shri Radha Govinda are seated on a jeweled throne under a desire tree, surrounded by their beloved gopis, and they are being served. And I am meditating upon this. So this is the Yoga Pit. And so we often will see the divine couple seated on a beautiful throne and under a desire tree. This is that very meditation of Shri Shri Radha Govinda by Srila Rupa Goswami. And this is the meditation also of the external energy who is meditating on Goloka. One who achieves a human birth but does not worship Sri Bhagavan certainly lives in vain. Bewildered by Maya, he becomes her slave and wanders through the 8,400,000 species, being devoured by the threefold miseries. For a specific discussion on this topic, see Srimad Bhagavatam 3:15-25. So this is also being given by reference by Srila Jiva Goswami, that one who has the human birth must worship Bhagavan. And without worshiping Bhagavan, one will have to become the slave to Maya and go through 8,400,000 species. Oh, I want to eat and eat, so become a pig. I want to go eat meat, become a tiger. I want to, so many want tos, and then there is a species and there is a variety of the three gunas. To get out of this trap, we have to worship Bhagavan. So let us read the Tatparya by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So yes, this is relatively short. Although the subject matter of this meditation is transcendental, the illusory potency is still situated in the material mode of passion. She is the personification of the material modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance, and as the embodiment of Bhagavan's inferior potency, she has many forms such as Durga. Herein, she is meditating on Bhagavan Sri Krishna as the object of her worship. When a person desires to acquire a material object, Maya Devi certainly becomes his worshipable deity. If he does not worship Maya Devi, then he should perform puja of Sri Krishna, and by this means he will attain the fulfillment of all his desires. This is also confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam. Akama sarvakamo va mokshakama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. Whether one is desireless or desires sense enjoyment or liberation, one who is intelligent should worship the Supreme Person through intense and unalloyed cultivation of bhakti yoga. This means that the various demigods and demigoddesses are expansions of Sri Bhagavan's opulences, and they bestow their respective boons. However, an intelligent person should give up worshiping them and should engage in undeviating bhakti to Bhagavan Sri Hari, who is capable, fully capable of bestowing all boons. In Bhagavad Gita, Sri Krishna explains Kamaistaistaihrita jnana prapadyante devata. Those whose intelligence has been taken away by lust, by strong desire, they engage in worship of various Devi Devatas because they are looking for all of these different things that they think will satisfy them. But Actually, one who is intelligent should worship the Supreme Person, even if one has desires. Why? Because if one has a desire and worships Sri Krishna for the fulfillment of desire, Krishna has promised, I will fulfill the desire of my devotee in such a way that they will not again ask me for the same thing. In other words, Krishna will not never cheat us. So if we will worship Krishna and we have a desire, Krishna will fulfill that desire, but he will do it in a way that we won't again have to go back and ask again and again. But it will become evident to us that we are not to achieve fulfillment of our desires by getting things. In accordance with this principle, Brahmaji meditated upon the Supreme Personality who performs pastimes in Goloka and who is the worshipable deity of Maya Devi. So now Brahmaji has seen all this. He has seen how Maya Devi is not in front of Krishna, but she is meditating upon Krishna. She is meditating upon the transcendental abode. She is meditating upon the Yoga Pit. She is meditating upon Radha Krishna surrounded by the gopis. So this is her Ishtadev. This is her worshipable deity. And Brahmaji has seen, oh yes, this is what I should also do. This is what I should do. Pure bhakti means nishkam bhakti. That is, bhakti free from any other desire. Whereas the bhakti of Brahma and other demigods is mixed with desire, sakama. So Brahmaji's desire was to create the universe. Brahmaji is a very pure entity. He is a pure individual who is invested with the power of creation of Bhagavan. But he has a desire. He has a desire to act as the creator of this universe. And Brahmaji, having created all the varieties of life, sometimes may desire to taste all of these different varieties. Hey, I have created the demigods. I also want to see what it would be like to live life as a demigod. Within Sakama, there also exists a type of bhakti called Nishkama, and this is elaborately described in 5 shlokas at the end of this book. So that is at the very end of chapter 5 of Brahma Samhita. There is a description of Nishkam Bhakti. These concluding verses describe the practice of sadhana bhakti through the processes of hearing, chanting, remembering, and so on, with knowledge of one's eternal relationship with Krishna. Sambandha Jnana. Prabuddhe Jnana Bhaktibhyan Atmanyananda Chinmayi. Until one attains the perfectional stage of Swarup Siddhi, this sadhana bhakti is an easily accessible facility for the soul bound in illusion. So that is describing that there is bhakti. And within bhakti, which may be sakama, there is nishkama bhakti, and that is what one should do. This is what Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur is explaining, that within sakama bhakti, there is nishkama bhakti. Nishkama bhakti is saying, I don't want all of these other things. Now, it is very hard for us in our conditioned stage to give up desiring. Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karamadi anavritam. We should be free from the process of desiring. It is not said that we should be free from desires, because then someone will think, oh, I should be like a Buddhist and I will give up all desire and become just everything is empty. No, you have to have desires, because without desires, we have to say, oh, I am hungry, I have to eat. Without that, we will starve. We have to have some desires, but we are giving up the process of desiring and saying that, no, I don't want to be a person who wants to live in a nice house, who wants to have a beautiful wife or a nice husband, and I want to enjoy sense pleasure and enjoy all these things. We want to make our desire to please Krishna. And specifically, there has to be knowledge of Sambandha. So that is why one can do Harinam, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. But until one has gotten Diksha, one must receive the seed of Sambandha. One must receive knowledge of one's relationship in the form of mantras. And then by practicing those mantras under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, one will also, doing Harinam, hearing, chanting, remembering in the association of devotees, practicing Nishkama Bhakti, then one will achieve perfection. So we'll end there, and the next verse is verse 27. And we'll describe how Brahmaji is initiated by the sound of Krishna's flute. Hare Krishna, Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol.